Welcome back to the 2029 offseason. The Boston Red Sox have won their third World Series of the Sim, 2029 World Series champs, in our new smaller playoff format where it's the four divisions. The four division winners get in, and then two wild cards from each league. The first round is a best of three at the division winner stadium, and the away team won three of them. So the Red Sox were the only home team to win the best of three, and they went on to win the World Series. Both LCSs were a best of seven, and then the Red Sox beat the Nats 4-1. So this offseason is going to be a doozy for us. We had at the end of the last episode, I talked about a bunch of option years that were coming up, and man, everybody's getting out of Dodge. So let's get into it. Jared Jones, we need to decide on his $10.5 million option. As a pitcher who puts up like between 2.5 to just over 4 WAR, that's an easy yes for us. An easy yes. We're going to execute that option. Vlad Jr. has opted out of his last year of his deal. Surprised. He did have a player opt out, I think, after 2028, if I remember correctly, and didn't opt out. And then after a good year, and then after a bad year, he opted out of the last year of his deal. He is looking at 8 years, $288 million deal that he wants, which is just kind of insane. We're not going to commit to that right now, hoping that he goes to free agency and brings his demands down some, as often happens. I'd like to bring him back just kind of like as a franchise legend. I'm biased towards bringing him back, but I'm not gonna do that kind of deal to bring him back. Trevor Rogers also voided out of his deal. I think he had 2 years, about $19 million left. He's coming off a down year, but I don't know. He led the league in ERA 2 years ago. He's been a really solid pitcher for us since we got him. You can see some really good years. Even if his FIP hasn't always been as low as his ERA, he's produced for us. Beeks, thank goodness, missed his vesting option, which I intentionally did once he was having a bad year. I was like, you're not getting 60 innings, bud. Our new budget is 288, which I think that's around what it was last year. Yeah, it's down $2 million, which honestly, missing the postseason, our attendance was way down because we were bad to start the year. I think that kind of set the tone, but I'll take that. Our manager retired, our pitching coach retired, and our assistant GM retired. And we had some minor league coaches. Laughable offer from the Twins that we're not going to take, and then we've got to get into the development lab. So what is this going to look like for us? Let's just kind of look at what it is right now if we don't take any action. Kirk is a free agent. Guerrero is a free agent. These three dudes are all back, and Barrero is a free agent as well. Schreier, I think, he's a guy that we're hoping can take a leap forward after he had a solid end to the year after a miserable early months. He's going to be our utility guy. So that's kind of like the rest of the infield. I think we've got second, third, and short covered. The plan at first is try to bring Vlad back once he goes out and gets a dose of reality in free agency, hopefully. Catcher, I think we might focus on a cheaper defensive option in free agency, but we'll see. Outfield, Chisholm is a free agent, so let's get him out of there. I think you will probably see a Barger-Burris platoon in one corner and let Burris get playing time in all three outfield spots. But against lefties, he'll probably play every day in place of Barger, who is a lefty bat. I expect like league average production out of that platoon, which I think is fine. Maybe actually if we platoon him hard, it might be even better production. I mean, against righties, a 106 WRC plus. So if he could put up a 106 and not play against lefties against whomst he is miserable, I think that could be better. Burris, I think, had reverse splits this year, but yeah, he did. But hopefully he'll be better against lefties next year. So Soto, Soto and Marino are here now. I could always shift Marino to first base and take care of that, and then Soto and then switch Soto to DH. Like, that's certainly an option. I could also put Soto at first base. I mean, he's never played it, but yeah, I think if Vlad doesn't come back, one of those guys goes to first, at which point we'll need an outfielder. And yeah, I think between Soto, Marino, Vlad, we've got our first baseman, our DH. If we bring back Vlad, I look to move Soto. Or if I move Soto, I look to bring back Vlad. We'll see what order it happens in. But Marino, I think, will probably be the DH or maybe the first baseman. He's definitely not playing in the outfield, and neither is Soto for that matter. So we'll need either way, like say this is our plan for now, either way we're going to need a left fielder. So we'll figure that out. I don't think that player is on the roster right now. I don't think that player is in the system, even if we do have some interesting outfielders coming up through the system now. Pitching side of things, Rogers is leaving. Ashby is a free agent that I think we're going to need to try to sign. But Hagen Smith was good enough that he should be in the rotation. So, I think this rotation's really deep. I think all of these guys are good. I think Jones is better suited as a 3 and Smith as a 4. So we could bring in 2 arms, but I just don't know that we'll spend that amount of money. What I'd like to do is bring Aaron Ashby back, who's just been so good for us. Won the Cy Young in 2028. I mean, he's been really good, and I think he is, 2 straight years of a sub-3 ERA. He's 31. His contract's a little long from what I want to spend. The money, honestly, is fine. What I'd like to do is see if he'll do like a 4 years with the 4th year being an option year of like, let's say you start 28 games, dude. And then let's bring the money down just a little bit. Like, let's see if he'd take 4 years. No trade, that's fine. Let's go down a little bit lower. Just, actually, let's go down. Let's do this. Let's do that and then take $2 million off here. I don't think he's going to take this. This is way under what it's not what I had in mind. Okay, so he came back with the exact same proposal. I've noticed that in the sim. I was doing a sim with the O's too, where it was like, I had a couple guys, Adley was one of the free agents, and I was like, how about we just take this down a little bit? He's like, no, I told you what I wanted, dude. Let's leave the 20. I think 22 is totally fine. I'm fine paying him $22 million a year. He's a little older, but wow, he is adamant about the 5 years, $110 million, which honestly I don't think is that bad of a deal. So what if I give you the 5 years? Then can we talk money a little bit? So he wants 5 years, 110. This offer is 5 years, 96. Let's try that. Okay, so he's into that. I'm fine with that. Like $20 million per year, especially because we got a lot of budget room right now. And then the $18 million per year towards the end might hurt a little bit. Hopefully he doesn't. Speaking of hurt, hopefully he doesn't get injured. But we're just in a situation where we have to bring him back. I think with the state of our rotation, he's kind of our ace. I'm gonna plan on the fact that he's going to accept this. I think this rotation's good. I think it just lacks star power at the top. But I think you can be a good team with this rotation. Let's look at the... Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Forgot to bring our... maybe you guys had picked up on this. I forgot to bring our... Wait, where's Orelvis Martinez? Why isn't he here? He was on a rehab assignment, but he should still be showing up here. Strange. I mean, he's just like in the minors. All right. So I totally forgot about a star who was down here. The rest of these guys are probably not going to, like Rojas is out for a lot of the year, but we'll bring him on. Almonte's a free agent. Flaherty will be back. Is he out of options though? Yeah, he is, but he was pitching well. Then Tiedemann's not coming back. So wait, let me think through this again because I totally forgot about Orelvis Martinez. Why is he not showing up here? Oh, there he is. Got it. Yep. Because I sorted by WAR. So Martinez is probably, like, honestly, our left field solution. It's pretty funny that I just totally forgot about a really good player coming back. Hey, when you miss a whole season, you get forgotten about. Martinez is a good bat for us. Yeah, I'm just kind of thinking, like, I wonder if we need a star in right field. I just wonder if this offense is good enough. If we get rid of Kirk, if we lose Vlad. Gonna have to think about that some, but that does take a big thing off our to-do list because Martinez is back. Pitching, that's our rotation. Rogers is a free agent. What is he wanting? I mean, reasonable amount of money for a guy who just had a really solid year. Oftentimes I find when older relievers ask for more money or have a good year and then ask for not a lot of money, it's because they're going to tank the next year. So we're going to put him on. We're not going to re-sign him right now. We'll look for him or someone similar in free agency. Mason Black will be back. Carson Coleman will be back. Cease will be a free agent that we're not going to. Oops. What did I do? Cease will be a free agent that we're not going to bring back. Wants too much money. Beeks is gone. You know, I think we can bring Moran back, Baroa, Coleman. Those are all solid. Bashar is a guy claimed off waivers who has an option year left. Looks like an interesting enough arm, but he's controversial and outspoken. I'm not sure if I'll hold on to him, but I thought he's a good option. Fluharty will probably be on the team. Rojas, when is he back? 7 to 8 months. So that's like May-ish. So we won't count him in the roster picture for now. I said Fluharty, I meant Rojas. Cease. Almonte is a free agent. He was solid for us. What's he wanting? 3 years, 4. Yeah, we're not going to do that. I think that we're going to need a closer and a lefty setup guy. These are 5 guys. That would give us 7 relievers, and then we can have a young guy be our long man, like a Mike Dunlin or a Shamar Rumble. One of these guys who's coming up, I think, could be our long man. So we need two relievers. I think we could pivot here. Even if we bring Vlad back, I think I could still pivot and bring in another star on offense to play right field. Because we're not going to bring in a good bat at catcher. Like, hypothetically, our lineup right now would probably be like Soto in the 2-hole. Martinez walks a good bit, I think, right? No, he's not an amazing on-base guy. So who's our best on-base guy? Kirk. But righty, it's Marino. So maybe we just bat Soto lead off. Maybe we start the lineup against righties with 2 lefties, and then, or maybe we go Frelick, Soto. I'm just trying to see like what our lineup would look like right now. Yeah, I don't love the lefty, righty, righty. Guess I could bat Soto cleanup and go like Frelick, Marino, Mayo, Soto. I guess that's right. And then Martinez, Barger, Ganoa, Arias, catcher. I don't know. Like, this lineup seems solid, but I think it's lacking. Lacking superstar power in the middle because Soto's the only potential guy, and he hasn't been that for us. He's been like a, I'm differentiating between like an all-star level player and a superstar level player. Like he's not getting down ballot MVP votes, but he will win Silver Sluggers. He will make all-star teams. So I feel like we're a bat away. But where do we fit that bat in? I think probably right field. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what Vlad wants. If I can deal Soto and bring back Vlad, I probably will do that, but it'll just be a matter of cost. Like if we, just out of curiosity, like if we were like, we want all players, we'll retain 20%. Is there anybody? See, okay, so people are still interested in Vlad. Like, I mean, these are like league minimum guys. It's not like they want to exchange a bad contract. Now, they're not giving up a ton. I mean, that's honestly not a bad player, right? Like, there are the Baltimore Orioles of all people. Dude, go sign Jackson Holiday. Like, don't come take Vlad from me. I mean, Soto from me. So there are deals to be had here. So we're going to have to think on this some. Like, do I want to sign Vlad and deal Soto? Or, like, what do I want to do with that? Derek Crochet. Is he pitching like an ace? Yeah, he is. What's his contract? See, yeah. This is going to be an interesting offseason. So I'll get into it some, look around, kind of make up my mind about what I want to do. We'll get into award season. And I'll show you guys some of the past awards too. Hopefully I'll remember to do that this time. So yeah, let me have a think here, huddle with the rest of my front office and hire a manager and all that. And we'll go ahead and get into it a bit more, but yeah, stand by. Now on October 26th, we're into the beginning of award season. Ashby did re-sign. We've got him for 5 years, $96 million. the peak being 20 million. Like, I don't know. I don't love giving a 32-year-old pitcher this much money, but he's been elite for 2 straight years. I think this is a really reasonable deal that has some risk for us given his age. But, you know, I think this is about as low risk of a deal you can get for a pitcher of his quality and his age. You know, we can weather the storm if something happens. Now, do I want to get another pitcher? Yeah, kind of, because I feel like if like Ashby or Jones goes out, like that's bad. That would be pretty bad. So, you know, I am considering going and getting another pitcher, and lineup wise, you know, again, still that same decision: Soto, Marino, Vlad. Do we want to bring in a star here, like make some sort of shuffle trade? I think it's all kind of to be determined based on, I think we have the luxury to wait. And I say that because I think it's not the end of the world if we came back with this lineup. Like, I think our pitching staff will be strong again. I think this lineup could be really good, you know, could be good enough. I'd prefer to make a major upgrade. And I think that's our intent, but we have the money. We have $70 million in budget space, and we have the luxury to wait just because we're not desperate. So I'm not going to make an early move here. Holiday's out there. You know, I don't know we're going to sign Adley at his age. Vlad will be in on trying to figure that out. Jimenez not interested. Evan Carter we're interested in, even though he's a lefty bat and I'm hesitant. He had some injury problems last year. He's fragile, but he's 27 and just been a machine for Texas. He's probably going to be really expensive, but if he makes it all the way to free agency without re-signing, he's a guy we'll be interested in. Let me see. Andy Pages, probably not. Yeah, but I think there's some dudes out there. Isaac Paredes, how's he been? I mean, he's a power righty bat who could play some different positions for us. He had a really good year in New York after struggling some in Tampa. So he's another guy that we could get more thump from. But let me check the awards here. We can kind of check out award season as it happens. So Miller, Teal, Brock Wilken, Gold Glove first baseman, a second Gold Glove. Terang, Seager, Witt, Jung-Hoo Lee, Julio Rodriguez, Joey Weimer in Seattle. Won the Gold Glove. So no Gold Gloves for Toronto. Oh, the Chickadees. Oh, this was a guy they took in the first pick from Baltimore. He won a Gold Glove. Oh, he put together a solid season. He's 24. It's a good piece for them. Ethan Salas, Trey Turner, a first base Gold Glove. Peraza, Brady House, Armando Cruz. No surprise there. Who's this guy? Oh, he was a draft pick for him. Wow, looks like a good player. He's only 23. Michael Harris, who, by the way, has had a legendary sim. We'll get into that more. And Jordan Walker. All right, let's go forward another day here and just see. All right, reliever of the year, Brian Abreu. 2.5 WAR, 1.05 ERA. Yeah, that'll do it. Duran. Okay. Lavender's a guy I had in a different sim that just never worked out. Emmanuel Clase gets every first place vote here. Let's go to the next day. Go Silver Sluggers. Oh, we got some guys who signed contracts. This is a dude who has not played in the majors yet, but is just mashed at AAA and has decent catching skills, and he's a leader, and he has 2 years options left. I claimed him on waivers, and he was going to be a free agent, but I signed him to a 1 year, $1 million deal. I feel like that was a good risk to take with where we're at. Posted play area, not really interested enough to. Well, I mean, let's see. Wow, that's all. That's all it's going to take to get this guy. That's surprising. He's a decent bullpen arm. Huh. I'm surprised. I don't know that I'm going to go after him right now. But the players on the posting feature are... Okay, got it. All right, let's go back to our league news page and look at who got Silver Sluggers. Caden Bodine, the legend, second overall pick in 2025 and looking like a great catcher. Rafael Devers, first base. Holiday, Lewis, Witt around the infield, then Langford, Rodriguez, Jenkins, and Manzardo gets the DH. So no Blue Jays again. Alvarez, Ethan Petrie, who's that? Seventh overall pick in 2025. Amador, De La Cruz, Tovar, Wood, Robert, Collier, Tommy White doing it. 49 home runs. 49 home runs And a 119 WRC plus. He struck out a bunch. His slugging was just absurd. Good job, Tommy White. Oh, Wood, yeah, put him there. There we go. Next we'll get to the Rookie of the Year award. In the AL, Tim Hart, every first place vote. He was a 25th pick in the 2027 draft. He put up 118 WRC plus and 3.8 WAR. Joel Hubbs, a 2027 pick. Matt Meacham, a 2028 fourth overall pick. And Nolan Souza, the 29th pick in the 2026 draft, are your AL Rookie of the Years vote getters. Over here, we've got Ezekiel Salas. Oh, wow. International free agent signing. 110 games, 4.3 WAR. This guy looks like he will be a player. Wow. Tim Prasinol, we already looked at, I think, at some point. And Dave Saltaban, who is a real-life dude. Ooh. Third round 2023 by the Phillies. And Bobby Gregory got 4 votes. 62nd overall in 2027. So those are your Rookie of the Year vote getters. Best skipper, we've got Boston, Ricky Ward. How long has he been there? Well, it was his first year there, and he just continued the torch for, I guess, Joey Cora, maybe retired. And then Reggie LaPlante, or LaPlante, if you prefer, in Atlanta, doing the thing. Cy Young. We might get some votes here. Noble Mayer. Holy wow, I did not expect that. He only pitched 86 innings, and he put up a 2.61 ERA. He was in the bullpen a lot. Was not expecting him to get a second-place Cy Young vote. I thought maybe one of our top starters would get it. But Misiorowski, or however you pronounce it, who I think wins multiple Cy Youngs in like every sim. Then Bayo, Schultz, Wu, Pavetta, Gore, Bradley, Whitlock. NL, Kyle Harrison. I feel like he won. Yeah, he's won 3. He won 27, 28, 29. He's won 3 straight. What a beast. Look at this guy. Shane McClanahan, Painter, Webb. Who's this? Oh, a waiver claim. He's been with him for a couple of years, but man, turned out to be a good waiver claim. Was he like a top 100 prospect that shouldn't have been on waivers? No. Yuri Perez is a free agent, got some votes. Yamamoto got a vote. But here are your 3 first-place vote getters. All right, let's see what MVP brings. Not going to be anybody from us. I mean, maybe Kirk will get some down-ballot votes. Maybe. I doubt it. Nah. I mean, he only put up... We're getting an autosave here. Kirk put up like 4.4 WAR. I don't know that that's enough. And I don't think his counting stats were like crazy. So I just don't think that's going to be enough. Blue Jays, anybody see him? Nah, no Blue Jays with votes. Yeah, again, we just don't have the superstar power right now. Devers wins his first MVP, led the league in like every counting stat. Goodness gracious. And average and slugging and WRC plus. Witt and then Julio got the first place votes. Colson Montgomery, Kyle Teal getting some votes. A lot of Red Sox up here. They are stacked. Isaac Paredes getting some second place votes. He's about to be a free agent. Going to cash in probably. James Wood. That's fun. The NL rookie or NL MVP put up 4.9 WAR, led the league in hits. Cam Collier, good season from him. He's had a good sim. Ethan Petrie of the Nationals, who was the Rookie of the Year, right? Wasn't that guy? Yeah. Oh, 2027 Rookie of the Year. Never mind. Sorry. He got some votes. Ellie De La Cruz, Olsen. I mean, who's this guy? 14th pick in 2026. See, this is what we don't have is enough of those. We don't have enough down ballot guys. I want to show you the year. Well, let me show you some of the awards. I want to show you some of the award history. I haven't gotten into that too much. Just this, the MVP, Cy Young has been what we're focused on here. But this went Gunnar, Tucker, Julio, Chirrillo. So I switched the Brewers to the AL in the offseason before the awards came out. He was in the NL, and he got the AL MVP. So that's a little bit of a glitch. Then Devers this year. Cy Young went Gossman for us, and Lopez, Luzardo, Job, Ashby for us, and then Jacob M. coming through. Rookie of the Year, Holiday, Espino, Jenkins, Silas Ardoin, this was a random one. Then he fell off a cliff and then got traded. Then a couple other dudes. Johan Duran has won 3 reliever of the years. Let's check out the NL. What am I doing? National League Awards. So Michael Harris won 3 in a row. Went Freeman, then Harris, Merrill, Wood, and then Yamamoto, Green, Steele, and then 3 straight from Harrison, Rookie of the Year, and Cy Young. So I think at this point we will kind of just stand firm with our team and go into free agency hoping to make a big splash. Maybe we'll get Vlad. Maybe we'll go after Ethan Carter. We'll definitely dabble with Jackson Holliday. You know, I don't love that Holliday and Carter are both lefties, so I think they'll underperform our expectations. But if we're paying them $25 to $30 million to underperform, that's better than Soto at $45. I think we will try to deal Soto, but I'll get into all that, and we'll see what we can do with this offseason. We're now up to Tuesday, December 25th, 2029. Merry Christmas if you celebrate. Here's what's going on in your world in 2029. We hired Dave Roberts as our manager. He was in LA through 2027. They were pretty rough the last couple of years there, but he had the best combination of development, mechanics, aging, plus relationships. So there wasn't like a guy who was anybody who is better than good in one or two of these was worse than good in a second or third one. So Roberts is our guy. He's 57. And our new manager, we signed Josh Conway as our pitching coach. Good, and excellent at teaching pitching. Some really good relationships. We love to see it. Then we go on to November. Let's go down here. You can see Kirk, Guerrero, and Rogers all rejected the qualifying offer, so potential comp picks there. We will not get a comp pick for Vlad, though, because we re-signed him 5 years, $119.7 million. Do I love this deal? No, I don't. But Vlad is a franchise legend. If I were playing this game as a heartless spreadsheet game, I would not re-sign Vlad, I think, because of my current roster construction. But I feel like I couldn't let him go that easily. Just an emotional attachment to a franchise legend who is the all-time leader in so many franchise categories, and he's only 30 years old. So welcome, Vlad. Thanks for coming back. We signed this guy to a 1-year, $1.1 million deal. Came over from Taiwan, and he has 3 option years. Looks like a decent reliever who can pitch in AAA and be depth for us. I think Orion is now part of our bullpen. He was not that good last year. Scout still likes him a lot, and we needed some bullpen help. It was a bit more money than I wanted to spend, but we had a ton of money to spend, even with this deal and the Vlad deal and a couple other smaller deals I'll show you. We still have like 20-some million in space. Then we moved on to December, and we signed Patrick Bailey to be our next catcher. And why did we sign Patrick Bailey? Well, I think his framing is a 75, first of all. And we wanted $2.2 million on a 1-year deal because he was just awful last year, but had 2 decent years as a backup in a row. We'll give him a shot, and I think it's a good gamble to take a 2.2 with that framing. We also signed Dylan Dingler to a minor league deal, and then he'll be on the major league roster. 60 framing, 70 arm. He's a captain. For some reason, he didn't play anywhere in 2029 after putting up a 2.4 WAR season in 64 games for the Phillies the year before. And sorry if I don't know if you can tell I'm sniffling a little bit. The allergies today in Maryland, man, killing me. So signed him, and then remember I said we needed 2 back into the bullpen arms, so our guy Orion is one, Brock Burke is the other. He's had some solid bullpen years, not as good last year. He's 33, 2 years, $7 million per year, pretty small potatoes there. And then we did lose Yandri Rojas in the Rule 5 draft, no big deal. We designated Antonio Gomez, our backup catcher last year, for assignment to make more room in our 40 minutes. So you can see no big moves, right? Teams, I didn't pull the trigger in time to deal Soto, at least not yet. Teams now have too much money committed, to take on his contract. And so right now we have him. Right now we have this unideal situation again of Soto in the outfield, Guerrero at first, and Marino at DH. Really, I wanted to bring back 2 of these 3 guys, but decide to bring back Vlad. I wanted to make an impact move other than just bringing back the same offense, which was pretty good. But and then we add Orelvis Martinez, which is a really good guy to add, and we add Arias healthy for the whole year, which is really good, and Marino up for a whole year, Genoa with us for a whole year. So, I don't dislike this team, but it hasn't been the impact offseason I was hoping for with the big changes. I think the next possible chance to trade Juan Soto is when the preseason begins and teams might have budgets expanded, because your owner sometimes, based off the offseason, will give you a bigger budget at the start of the preseason. I'm hoping that happens with with the AI teams too. I'm honestly not sure. Rotation is about what we thought it would be: Ashby, Jones, Smith, Meyer, Singer. There's a lot of interest in Singer. I might deal him. I think it's totally possible that I deal Brady Singer. Had a pretty good deal lined up with the Yankees for 2 really good prospects that I liked. And he, he put up 3.7 WAR last year. That makes sense. And but what am I trying to say? Sorry, my nose is running. I'm getting distracted. But then the Yankees, I guess, signed somebody, and they didn't have the budget room for it anymore. So I'm waiting to see if maybe their budget room opens back up. So I might deal him. But these 7 guys, with these 2 additions here of Burke and Kirkering, probably settles the 7 guys in our bullpen except for the long man, and then these 1 million guys will compete for the long man role and then be depth. We have a good amount of quality depth on the pitcher side in AAA, and honestly, I like our offense. I think it's a solid offense with no black holes. I think we've got a solid offense that possibly lacks a superstar if Soto and Vlad aren't going to be that guy. But we'll see what happens. We did send Kobe Mayo to the development lab. Maybe he'll take a leap. But that's where we're at right now. Off-season center, I can show you where a few guys signed. Kirk went to Houston for 5 years, $21 million per year. Supplemental first-round pick compensation for him. We'll take it. Henry Davis went to Baltimore for 7 years, $146 million. Okay. He's been, where'd he go? He's been good, but I'm not committing that kind of money to him. And they're also apparently in the mix for Adley Rutschman, who's still a free agent, which is really something. That Baltimore is still a team here. That would be really funny. Brayan Bello, 6 years, $169 million to San Juan. Nice. Jackson Holiday, 5 years, $40.2 million per season to Texas. I didn't get involved. I looked at him and I said, you know what? He's not an elite defender. I'm not spending this kind of money on another guy. Now, he's a better defender than Soto and Guerrero, who I have big money in, but he's not an elite defender, so I wasn't doing it. I think that was the last big guy to sign. Oh, Grayson Rodriguez went to Miami for 5 years, $96 million. Trevor Rogers to Kansas City, 4 years, $57.8 million. So a good bit below what he was asking for. And honestly, he had 2 years, $36 million left on his guaranteed deal that he opted out of. We got a supplemental first-round pick, though, for him. We've got 2 of those now, which takes our draft budget up a good bit. We need 12.8 here. We're putting 24.5 into the minor league system, and that still, even with that, leaves us with $17 million for budget room this year. You can see draft. We'll pick. We'll pick 27th, and then we'll have the 5th and the 7th picks in the supplemental round. So feeling pretty good about that, to be honest with you. Anyways, so jump ahead here. Maybe if things loosen up with some finances, we can deal Soto when the preseason begins. We'll hop back in here, but we'll continue on with the offseason. I don't know. Something could always happen. Let me show you one other thing. I had a trade lined up with the Rockies for Adel Amador. You can see he's been a real stud. And I just kind of took a day to think about it, and then they traded him to the Mets. So I was like, all right, dude, it's cool. So it wasn't even during the winter meeting, so I figured I had a day to think about it. But alas, I did not, and he is gone. So, yeah. Jet Williams is their shortstop. Okay, not their second baseman. Got it. Okay. Anyways, I'll hop ahead here more, and we'll see what that brings for us. Made a couple moves. Had a really interesting Juan Soto update. Haven't traded him. but an interesting update on that I'll give you in a second. But anyways, I was able to swing the trade of Singer to the Yankees. They also wanted Jake Kulikowski, which of course, why wouldn't they? And so we traded Singer, and we got Mason Brassfield, who looks like an almost MLB-ready pitching prospect, who the Yankees had acquired from the Reds, and the Reds had taken him in the 4th round of the 2024 draft out of high school. Is he a star? No, but I think he's a good addition to the top of the system. He's not yet on the 40-man, so I guess that means he was eligible for the Rule 5 draft. I don't take players that are under 25 years of age in the Rule 5 draft, though. And then we got 21-year-old third baseman Joe Murphy, who to me looks like he could be a really good hitter. He was just drafted in what year? 2029, 5th round by the Yankees, and signed a $500,000 bonus, and then played in high A and was fine. So we'll send him to high A to try to continue to refine his game. Transaction log. Let me go back to this for you. So I had to fire Dave Roberts because I made a mistake. I didn't realize he doesn't let me handle player strategies, which is important to me because of pitch counts for pitchers. I just find I know I can go in and control individual guys by checking the strategy box, but I just didn't want a manager doing that. So I fired him, hired Norfolk Tides legend Buck Britton, who has some good attributes. I think would handles aging to be better, but whatever, and good relationships. We then signed Bryce. We also signed Bryce Elder to a 1-year, $1.4 million deal to replace Brady Singer in the back end of the rotation. You can see our ticket sales are way down. Our guy took away, I think, like $8 million. So we're now, after the Singer deal, after trading Singer and Elder, I think we were like 16 or 17 million, and then we went down to 8.2 million left. So that's a bit of a bummer, but whatever. So I had a trade lined up with the Guardians. I didn't have a trade I was totally happy with. Let's see this. It was going to look something like it was going to be Soto and retaining like 15%. Let me just show you. I can show you on my here. No, that's not the page I want. Here. I'll do it this way. Fine. And then Luis Castillo, who I do think looks like he could be a stud, but he also might strike out like 40% of the time. He struck out 33% of the time in rookie ball. He's a corner outfielder. If he improves, if he makes a little bit of improvement in avoid Ks, he could be a legendary hitter. But I don't know. I was just totally willing to deal him, even if he is high in work ethic. And then they also wanted Dalton Juno, who looks like a possible stud pitching prospect who we got in the 3rd round of the draft last year, college arm, who will start the year in high A. And he was going to go to Cleveland. And let me take you over to Cleveland's page. And we were going to we were looking at that. I was going to retain like 15% of Soto. And then I was going to get Hunter Brown, who would be like a good starter for me. And then they were willing to put in this guy, who was a guy who I remember being drafted. I remember wanting him and not getting him. 70 range. Don't love the personality, but it's fine. And the bat looks really good. But I guess it was when the preseason began, because all of a sudden I was like thinking about that deal. I was like, nah, let me shop around Castillo and Juno with Soto to see if there's a better deal. And then I advanced forward a couple days, and in doing that, Soto's 10-5 kicked in, which I was not even on my radar. Oh, he'd now consider a trade to Washington, which is actually a change. He was not willing to consider a trade to anybody at first. I only know what kind of budget room the Nationals have. Yeah, they can't take him. $15 million. I just retained so much of that. So I wish there was a warning that was going to kick in. I guess it when the preseason begins is when it kicks in. I don't know. Pretty annoying, but whatever. We've got one Soto. It's not the end of the world. I don't love the Soto, Vlad, Marino combo. I would much rather have 2 of those guys. I could always trade Junior Marino, but I just think he could end up being the best of the 3 hitters, and he's definitely the cheapest, so going to keep him around. Yeah, so a little bit of a bummer of an offseason, but I don't think this was a really good team last year. Our Pythagorean was a 90-plus win team, right? Low to mid 90s, and then we'll get Orelvis Martinez back, Arias back for the full year. Hogan, Smith, and Noble Mayer are a year older and could develop more. I think our bullpen is actually even better. I mean, our pitching staff was awesome last year. And then our offense was pretty good. And then we had some bad luck with run differential and injuries. So I don't think this is a bad team. It's just not the shake-up offseason I was hoping for, but I wasn't going to force it. Wasn't going to make the team worse just to shake it up. So anyways, that's the end of this episode. Thanks for watching. We'll be back with the beginning of the 2030 MLB season where the Blue Jays try to return to the postseason. Bye.